Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. In this video I'm gonna discuss with you the most important tips in doing your titrations in paper 3 exam. This is AS level chemistry 9701. So let's get started. So first of all, you know your paper 3 practical exam. You have in paper 3 2 or 3 questions. It depends. So you have to check first of all, you have to skim quickly a number of questions in your paper, and then you have also to remember that the total time is 2 hours and the total marks 40 marks. Actually, this is very important to manage your time. So the first and the most important tip, this is for your general paper 3 exam, is time management. Here guys, you see this is like a comment but taken from the examiner report. So here he says few candidates were unable to complete the exam paper within the time limit. So actually guys, that's why I told you have to take care about your time. So according to the number of the questions and the total marks of every question, so you need to manage the time accordingly. For example, if the exam is only 2 questions, so it means, and you know the time is 2 hours, 2 hours mean 120 minutes. So 120 divided 2, so it means 60 minutes for every question or 1 hour. But in case of as here, you see like 3 questions as you see. So this is gonna be 120 minutes divided 3 questions, so it means 40 minutes approximately for every question, and also it depends according to the number of the total marks for every question. So please guys, put this point into your consideration, because actually this is a challenge for some student that they can't finish the practical exam within the time. Now let's go quickly to the titration. So in titration, actually before starting your titration, you need to, number 1, read the questions and the instructions carefully. Again, this is because if you miss any step or don't read it well, so you may lose your time by repeating the whole experiment once again, and this is again not good for your time management. And then you have to rinse the burette and the pipette by the chemical you're gonna use, and take care here, I'm talking about the burette and the pipette only by the chemical you're gonna use, in order to make sure that there is no water to dilute or to disturb the results. But don't do the same for the conical or volumetric flask, so to avoid the inaccuracy. So you need to render the burette and the pipette with by the chemical you're gonna use, but don't do the same for the conical or volumetric flask. You make sure they are completely dry to not disturb the results as we said. So then you need to fill the burette above the 0.00 mark. Here you see guys, of course you did your practical, so you have to fill the burette above this 0.00, then open the tab down to adjust the top level to be definitely 0.0. So you need to drain the excess here to be exactly 0.00. And also this is, we have another purpose, is to make sure there is no bubbles inside, no air bubbles inside the burette, also to not disturb the results, to make your results accurate as much as you can. Okay, and then for the points of the readings, this is really important. So here the first important thing, you have to put your readings and record them in separate organized table. As you see here, you can see some tables. This is the first experiment, which is called rough experiment. So you could put, or you could draw this is the first table for the rough titer, the first experiment. And here you see, you put here final volume you get, and then initial volume per centimeter cube, and take care of this point. You have to write per centimeter cube, or you have also other option to write two brackets like this and write centimeter cube as you want. And here also initial volume and then titer per centimeter cube. So here also we have a very common mistake guys, that some students when they write final volume here and then initial, and then they record here initial first, and here they put initial, and then here they put the final, they disturb the two values. So take care about this to not disturb the recorder. So in order to not do this mistake, I recommend everyone for initial volume to make it 0.00. First of all, put it 0.00 all the time, and then you can refill your purette to keep starting by 0.00. All the time you can start by 0.00, so it eases your calculations to not take too much time in this, and also to not disturb your initial with the final, as I said little earlier. So here you can put your final values over here, and take care also everything should be 2 decimal places. As you see, the reading 2 decimal places, so it could be 0.0 or 0.05. It depends according to your reading. Okay guys, so here you have 2 separate tables, one for the rough title, which is the first one, and the other one for your other titration. And here you write down the title, and of course the title will be the final minus initial, so all the time you could put here quickly the final reading without making any subtracting or something like this. And finally you have to check the best results. Best results, we talk about the concordant values. So you know guys, in case of the concordant values, it means that the titers should be within 0.10 centimeter cube, and in case of the first 2 titers are within 0.10 centimeter cube, so actually no need to do the third titer. But if they are not, so you can do the third titer. So actually guys, also you should show your work when calculating the mean titer. This point is really important, and also it's mentioned in the examiner report. So once you get the values here, for example, let's say here you have any value like, let's say 20.10, and here for example let's say 20.15. so you see guys, these 2 values are concordant because they are within 0.10. so you could use them directly to say how can you show your work here. So here you need to say 20.10 plus 20.15 divided 2, and then calculate to get the mean titer here. Or sometimes you can also continue the third experiment, let's say for example 20.20, for example. Take care the overall range over here in these 3 trials, as you see 0.20. so now you could also add the third one, so by saying this is 20.10 plus 20.15 plus 20.20, everything divided 3, so again you get the mean titer. So actually guys, again, really important to show your work in this point to not lose the mark. Also here, this is really important usually to give your answer to 3 significant figures. Unless it's determined the question, usually they ask you to do it between 2 to 4 significant figures, but if it's not mentioned, so you could do it directly 3 significant figures. Okay guys, now let's see quickly some examiner comments. So here, see, this is an experiment and this is a candidate. So this is actually a high response, as you see. So here actually guys, he lost only 1 mark in this point if you check. So here he achieved everything, this is correct. All marks here according to the mark scheme correct. Here he lost the 2nd mark only. And here guys, if you read the examiner comment here, it's simpler to write titer per centimeter cube or titer centimeter cube. Here the candidate wrote volume of FA3 per, and then also here centimeter cube, both of them. And here also it's better recommended to write titer directly per centimeter cube. So take care of this point. Actually guys, you could write easily titer per centimeter cube, or you could write titer and then between 2 brackets centimeter cube. So it's easy to not load the mark to this. And the final part here is another candidate. Actually, if you check here, this candidate actually lost so many marks because of so many mistakes. Here actually guys, the first mistake here in the rough titer, he tried to make it very, like precise, and actually it's not needed here. The rough titer, actually once you do the table, the separate table, so you can do the final reading and then the initial reading and subtract to get this. So actually this is also here, if you take care, no table here, no values, everything is not written here. The second point, as you see here in the table, first of all, also here the table, as you see, this table doesn't achieve the requirements. No final volume, no initial volume, no calculation. Here, actually, guys, it's written only the volume of the, actually, this is actually titer only. So titers quickly with no other raw data. So actually, he lost the first three things, as you see, guys, here. And then here you have the titers. So here we have another mistake. Also look at this point in number 3. Here this is the mean titer, as you see, 16. And the students, if you read this, the answer given is not an asymmetric mean of any combination of the 3 accurate titers, and no working is shown. So actually, guys, hopefully to not do any mistake of this, because titration questions is a kind of easy question to get the full mark without losing any question in your exam. So hopefully it was helpful. If you have any question, you can leave a comment. Thank you so much, guys. See you.